All right, good morning and welcome to our channel Princesses. Welcome every one of you on this platform in the Grand ecosystem, all the expectant beneficiaries, all the CEOs, all the including the country director is also an expectant beneficiary. All of us are stakeholders here. All right. So I greet you in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. This morning, today, the 5th of June 2025, I want to dwell on a very critical aspect and analysis of the last conversation that ensued between the Kaduna CEO and the county director, Apostle Professor Ken Nwakama. And I want us to really drive into the very heart of this discussion and know what it entails, because it's important for us to be able to dissect and analyze what is said so that we can bring ourselves into a position of rest and tranquility. Now, the recent conversation may seem like a simple response at first. In fact, at first glance, when you look at it, it looks like a very simple response. But within those few words lies the truth, the directions, and the hidden assurances for those of us who are willing to listen just with ears, not just with ears, but with understanding hearts. You're going to get the basic fact from those few lines of stranded statements. Now, we will take a deep dive into the response and also extract the true meaning. That is the hope that we are in expectation of, the structure, the discipline inside those statements, the assurances, the valid assurances inside those messages, and the faith that we are to cling on. All right. And I'm going to carefully classify them. I'm going to extract them and pieces them and analyze them for our greater good. For our greater good. It's going to be classified into two dimensions, but it's going to be having some other subordinates in which you're going to get the basic facts so that you would not bother yourself any longer. You will see the real fact and analysis from those messages. All right. This is Princess channel, and in case you're new here, kindly subscribe so that you don't miss out on valid update when it comes. When we drop one, you get one. Don't touch the dial. I'll be with you shortly and in a moment. All right, welcome back to our channel, Princess. It's still at the wake of our expectations, and what we say is what we mean. All right, from the first statement, the CEO was asking, and these were his words: "Hope there is hope for disbursement this week or next week, sir." Now, the simple question is more like an emotional exhaustion coming from him. And not just only him, but he's also asking on the behalf of the many beneficiaries who have been waiting for what feels like forever. So that same hope, that same message in the tone, it's like a courteous yearning. That's why he was using the word hope. In fact, he used the word hope twice, two times, which indicated his need for a kind of emotional reassurance more than the actual deadlines that we have been hearing at different times. You understand? Now, it is a question that is born not out of rebellion, but from pain. Yes, from expectation, and the loyalty also that is mixed up with weariness. It is mixed up with weariness. Now, from the response, that's secondly now, from the response of the county director to set the record straight, with all wisdom, listen to what he said. I've been able to carefully excavate it out, and I crunch out the main message from his words. He said, "Na you dey cause problems for una servo. You are just fixing date, and you will say, na me say na next week. I didn't tell you this week or next week. Na you dey fix am by yourself. Wait for me. Wait for me. I will make announcement." That's not all right? But let's dwell on this a little bit. We want to unpack this particular statement very slowly, phrase by phrase. First off, it says, "Now you dey cause problems for yourself." Now, this to me is not an insult. It's just a wake-up call. Apostle Ken is pointing out a pattern of self-inflicted pressure that we have mounted upon ourselves within the grand ecosystem. In other words, the people are stressing themselves unnecessarily by making assumptions, by spreading unconfirmed dates, by attributing words to him that he never said. I hope you're getting insight from this. Now, that seems to me like a fatherly rebuke. And the statement is teaching us some emotional discipline to wait for confirmed instructions and not move ahead of leadership. Now, going further, he also said, "You are just fixing date, and you will say, na me say." Now, this one particularly is a critical problem in public projects of this sort, where people, we can call it a misinformation loop that happens in a kind of project like this that is a public one. Now, people often spread false timelines. People often blame leadership when deadlines pass or they don't seem real. Then people also often misinterpret silence as failure. So by fixing dates themselves and attributing it to the county director, Apostle Professor Ken, the followers, we the expectant beneficiaries now, there is a way we are damaging the trust among ourselves, and we're also increasing public confusion. That is just it. The more we try to probe into what is not there, then we might be inflicting some pressures upon ourselves and damaging our confidences just by ourselves. Now, another statement or line of phrase from his words was, "Wait for me. Wait for me." In fact, the repetition of "wait for me" is not just a plea. He repeated these words twice. "Wait for me. Wait for me." That was a leadership command. It was a call for order and patience. And that signals that something great is coming, but it must happen in the right order. Wait for me. That phrase alone offers assurance that the disbursement would come, but not before the proper time and communication. Now, the next one there, the next line of phrase is, "I will make the announcement." That was clear and final. Apostle Ken has taken responsibility for communication, not speculation. And that signals to us that there is no third party. No third party is authorized to announce disbursement date. Did you hear that? No third party is authorized to announce the disbursement date. I repeat again, no third party is authorized to announce the disbursement date. When the time is truly right, he will speak. Any other voices in the meantime are unauthorized noise, especially the voices that fixes date. It's been long. I told you that I'm done with all these predictions and date fixing and all that. It's better to say verily, verily, like in the words of Christ, verily, verily, I come quickly, or very soon. Verily, verily has no timeline, just that you got to prepare. That's what it means. Know that I am coming. Know that soon I would come, but no timeline. And that sets you on the lee of expectations. That's to tell you that you shouldn't fade. Don't fade. Don't lose hope. Don't lose confidence. Now, another line of strap from his message says, fixing all these days while tension is everywhere is not easy. That's what it says. And this is a moment of vulnerability from leadership. Yes, Apostle Ken shows that the burden of leadership is strong. He also shows the reality that is under immense pressure, that disbursement planning is not press a button and go, but it involves some complexities, it involves some tension, it involves some spiritual warfare. This is a sobering reminder that leaderships or leaders are not magicians. They also carry not only the burden of administration, but the weight of many people's lives. Yes. Another line of strap from his message, he says, nobody knows what we are going through. Behind every public figure is a private pain. Apostle Ken reminds us that while people cry for help, those at the top are often bleeding also in silence. So the delays may be hurting the followers, but the leaders too, they are in pain. So fighting, most times they are in pain, fighting certain things that you are not seeing, fighting some spiritual warfare that is not open to the physical eye. There are times they are fighting institutional bottlenecks. They are managing spiritual attacks. They are coordinating human, financial, and also governmental structures. So that statement builds some level of compassion for leadership, calling for empathy for them and not judgment at all costs. But you see, that's what we see most. Judgment to the leadership, not compassion for the leaderships. Now, I think that should be the second to the last. Yes, the second to the last of his message, of his point, was that, but the truth is that we are going to disburse. In fact, this is the heart of the message. This is the very heart of the message. Everything else leads to this point. No matter the pain, no matter the confusion or the delay, disbursement is guaranteed. In other words, this is a firm declaration. Not that we hope to disburse, not that maybe we will disburse, not if we are going to disburse. There was nothing of all these conditions. But he said, assuredly, he said, we are going to disburse. So that's the confirmation that every expectant heart needs. But there was a clause too to that. And that's the last of the statement. He said, but until I talk. Now, we've been hearing this before now, but a lot of speculations also in the waiting swept in, where the pioneers were saying that the payment will come first, then the broadcast comes second before the disbursement finally happens. So and that you couldn't just place where the truth was lying. So, but what is said right now is that but until I talk, drop and get out. Until I talk. This is the discipline clause. The assurance of disbursement is real, but we must stop announcing dates prematurely. We must wait for proper instructions. And we must trust that the voice of direction comes from the source. Very important. Now I'm going to draw out, finally, the inferences and also valid submissions from all of this. And I'm going to end this. Now, the first inference here in all of this is that disbursement is certain. Apostle Ken made it clear it will happen. The unknown is when, and even that will be made known very soon by him. So this gives us a solid foundation for that hope on that mission. Secondly, another inference is that self-imposed expectations are the source of most of our pains. Self-imposed expectations. The message teaches us to stop setting our own deadlines. We are the one inflicting or imposing expectations on ourselves. So we should stop setting deadlines for ourselves, because doing so would only increase disappointment. It would only spread false rumors amongst us and also damage our unity, our shared values. It's going to damage it. Now, thirdly, another inference is that the leadership is actively working. Even in silence, there's movement behind the scenes. There's work being done, pressure that are being absorbed by them, and strategic plans are also being executed from behind the scene that we don't know anything about. Fourthly, another inference I'm drawing here is the emotional discipline that is needed now more than ever. In other words, we must resist panic. We must resist assumptions. We must resist the temptation to move ahead of the arc. The key to finishing strong is patience with faith. It's very important. Fifthly, another key inference is that delay is strategic, not denial. The delay is strategic, not denial. Sometimes God delays not because he has said no, but because he is perfecting the yes. So the delay may be for greater efficiency, for greater impact, or even for protection for us. Very important. The delay is strategic, it's not denial at all. Then sixthly, is that the sixth one? Now there is real-time hope here, and why you should still rejoice. Why you should rejoice, why you should be happy, is because your data is still intact. Your leadership is still in place. Yes, it's a confidence we need to have. Your leadership is still in place. The promise has not changed. The confirmation has now been reiterated. The moment is coming, and when it does, all the pain would make sense. You will testify, you will rejoice, you will remember these nights and thank God for them. So you got to uplift your spirit. Hold on just a little longer. I address you right now. You listening to the sound of my voice, dear expectant brother or sister, hear this very clearly. You have waited too long to give up now. You have waited too long to give up now. You are too close to the finishing line to quit. The storm may feel so loud, but that's only because the rain of release is about to fall. You are not forgotten. Heaven has not closed. The vision has not failed. Apostle Ken may be silent, but he is not absent. God may seem quiet, but He is still working. Your name would be among those who celebrate, and your account would receive the credit alert that you've prayed for. Finally, this entire moment calls for truth and not frustrations. Apostle Ken's words are not to be misunderstood as avoidance, but as leadership that is refusing to be pushed into error, some form of irregularities. There is a time and a season for everything. There is a time and a season for everything. Close that. Close the boot. There is a time and a season for everything. And according to Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1, to everything there is a season, a time for everything and every purpose under heaven. This is still your season. This is still your time. It is coming. So here is your final encouragement. Claim your spirit, or calm it. Calm your spirit. Claim it yourself. Don't allow your spirit to be moved about or tossed about by certain rumors or news that you don't have control over. Claim your spirit. Have control over it. Then calm it also. Turn down the noise by yourself. Stop fixing dates. Come to the channel here. You gotta hear the truth. Prepare your thanksgiving because the same mouth that declared we are going to disburse is the same mouth that will say now is the time. I want you to know that. And when that day comes, your waiting will become a testimony. Your tears also will become a harvest, and your hope will soon become a reality. So hold on. Heaven is not late. Leadership is aligning to their concept, and your miracle is loading. Until then, wait for Apostle Ken. Wait for the announcement and rejoice ahead of time. Thank you very much. I will drop this submission here, and I believe that this would enlighten someone. This is going to give someone some level of breakthrough and some level of respite in their spirit, because we are a channel of good news, a channel of hope, a channel of peace and tranquility. We are never meant for bad news. Whatever we give to you is just what it is, and we believe that you got to understand the norms, the regulations, and the things that pros and cons that you need to do, the factors that you need to put in place is very, very important. And by that, this pain that we inflict on ourselves, they are just needless. That's why I took my time to carefully bring out from those words and see where we are failing, and see where we are not up to the task, and see where we are not doing the right or the best things in time. So it's important that we know what to do and we do them at the right time, because when we don't do them at the right time, that is when we get hit up by the club of what is affecting the masses, and we're going to get pain for it. Because it's not a county director that is inflicting all these pleasures or these pressures upon us. It is self-imposed. You could hear that from his words. You are the one fixing date and time. I didn't tell you next week or last week or this week. I told you wait for me. And when you wait for me, I told you wait for me. And when you wait for me, I'm going to announce at the right time. I'm going to announce the right word, the right tenses. When I announce, know that the disbursement has come. Thank you very much. I believe that you had everything, and you just have to take your caution from this. It is all well. If you are new, subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss out on vital updates. Thank you. We love you and have a nice day. Bye for now.